There's 2 Fortnite references. Tom and Jerry. Hello. Welcome back to Critical Response, the show where intros are irrelevant and money isn't real. I'm your host, Michael Wilson. So, today, a few weeks back, I was really excited to see if the Tom and Jerry movie would turn out well because it's been through a bunch of problems in development. It's been about a few years, building up, getting everything right. And just today, February 26, 2021, it released in theaters and on HBO Max. So as soon as I got back from my thing, I loaded up HBO Max and I watched it. A couple of problems here first. This thing was nearly 2 hours. And it basically ends at like an hour 26. So I don't know what the problem was. It dragged on for a tiny bit longer than it needed to be, but it's what you get. And yeah, let's get to the main review. As you can tell by the intro, yeah, there's 2 Fortnite references. I'm not going to say what they are for the sake of... You know what? I think you already know by now. There's a few animated movies that came out recently that have a few Fortnite references in them. I think you can already tell where this is going. And it's by both Tom and Jerry, as I can say right now. But you might think that I may have thought this movie was bad because as of right now, on the release date, earlier today, it went down from a 44 to a 30 on Rotten Tomatoes. So we may have a few problems here, but overall, I thought this was pretty all right. Could have done better. It was a tiny little bit lackluster, but I generally think it was all right. Yeah, it's not too good, but it's not too bad either. It's probably what you get for a movie that's been in development for so long. But yeah, Tom and Jerry. If you've seen the movie, what do you think of it? This isn't the end of it. I'm just curious. What do you think? Because you might have the same opinion as mine coming up right now, but I'm probably going to start with some of the bad stuff first and then get to some of the good stuff. So, what is that key ring? I gotta find it. Yeah, a little bit of a sitch. Can't find the key ring, but you know what? It's probably fine. Maybe it will be some kind of joke where it appears at the end of the video or something, but that's ever gonna happen. We're budgeted. We run a show. I own a company. I'm in so much debt up to my neck. It's impossible. What was I talking about again? Oh, right. Tom and Jerry. Some of the bad stuff first. The 2 Fortnite references, obviously. But I think there was a couple of filler scenes as well that didn't really make sense. There was just one scene that was just the costume change and then nothing else. There's also too many slow-mo shots, which I don't know if that's normal for an animated movie, but they're really trying to push the whole, we have theaters back open, so maybe you can watch it in 3D if you want your kids to come along and experience what IMAX feels like, since the screen is a bunch of tiny little dots, so it's like one giant speaker. Also, we're in 3D type of thing. But, I think maybe they kind of rushed it a little too much since it's been in development for so long. They're really trying to push the whole modern aesthetic out. So I think they might have just scrapped it multiple times. And then when it was a little too close to the modern age, they just decided to just start now before it gets worse. Well, that's a few of the bad things out of the way. Now, some of the good things. The actors, obviously, they were pretty good. I thought the 2D animation was actually all right. A little too 3D for my taste, but they still try to keep it as interesting as possible with the sleek animation. Thank you, Warner Animation Group. You don't make me have a mental breakdown anymore. I I've had way too many of those to count. What else was good in the movie? I don't really have much else to say about it. I think if you just watch it for yourself, then you'll probably you'll probably be. Oh, but I can't even speak. Where'd that hearing go? You'll probably be surprised with just how interesting it is. One other problem, though, I don't really like the whole hotel thing. The before the wedding goes on, we're in a hotel for most of the movie and only have about a half hour of other location shots. And also, they already did a whole hotel movie with dogs, so I don't know how they could bring cats, mice, dogs, peacocks, and elephants into it. Doesn't make any sense. Yeah, hotel things aren't really good, but they just had to do it. But also, there were a couple of actually funny things. First of all, they brought back some of the older characters like Butch. He was actually pretty cool. And he also owned a gang. This is a kids movie. And yeah, Spike was in it as well. But there was a couple of actually funny things. There's in the background of one of the earlier shots of the movie, it's Droopy doing a parody of Joker, but also one of the most insane things that I've ever seen come out of anything Tom and Jerry related. Droopy in a straitjacket. I don't know why they decided to do that, but I guess they did. It even showed up in the credits again to remind you that he's still there in that straitjacket. He only has one line, he only has like a few seconds of screen time, but he's in a straitjacket and I love it. You remember in Tom and Jerry, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, if you didn't know that was a thing, it was direct to DVD. He was a Mexican stereotype and then he got arrested. And Droopy in handcuffs was just also really disturbing. You can't get this dude's just having just living the life, getting arrested. I guess this is kind of the part 2 of it, where we know where he goes after he's out of Mexico and in New York City. Yeah, it's classic. Even though it literally came out today, it's a classic. It's a classic. Okay, rating system time. You remember this thing? Yeah, I completely ignored it in Jack and Jill because that movie was stupid. Okay, plot. The whole hotel thing, you've already heard it earlier. It was alright. Hotel for Dogs did it better back in 2001, 20 years ago. I'll give it a 6. Characters, Droopy in a straitjacket, 10. Elements. They didn't really try to do anything new here, so I think I'll just give it a low score. I think maybe another 6. The interest. Does it interest you? Not for adults, but it keeps your kids interested. I'll give it a 7. It's got some captivating stuff. Miscellaneous. I think you know where this is headed. Droopy Joker, Droopy straitjacket, gang members. 8. Okay, give me a minute to show the full score. Okay, after running the numbers, we should be up for the total rating for Tom and Jerry is 37 out of 50, which gives it a C. Could have done better. Pretty lackluster, but kids movie, modern age, Droopy in a straitjacket. It's everything to my heart. I think HBO Max is doing pretty good with their whole Warner Bros. Same day premieres thing. This month was Tom and Jerry. Next month is going to be Godzilla vs. Kong, if I ever decide to do a review on it. April is going to be Mortal Kombat. I don't know if there's one in May, but I know June is going to be In the Heights, which is also probably going to be pretty good since it's made by the guy who did Hamilton. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. What did you think of Tom and Jerry? I hope your opinion is probably different than mine because I think I simped on this movie a little too much. I gave it a C. Droopy in a straight jacket.